Hi, I'm Kaan Zorlu, aka Owaida, and welcome to this Mohawk hairstyle tutorial using Maya and XGEN. We have crossed a long way our previous tutorials creating this badass hairstyle. We started by creating a scalp geometry, we carefully created the primary guides and move on adding the detailing guide. After that, we worked on painting mask maps and then adding final touches to the hairstyle. In this lesson, I will guide you through to be able to render your own hairstyle and show you the secrets to get an amazing results for this hairstyle. Follow me through this lesson and pay attention to all the secrets and hidden techniques that I will be showing during this lesson. I would like to mention that due to an annoying bug in Maya 2023, I had to move the project to Maya 2024. Now let's kick things off by creating a polyplane, placing it under our model, scaling it up and extruding the edges. After that, I will make a quick bevel to smooth the corners and make it look like a real life backdrop, and I will assign a new AI shader material and give it a dark color. Now I will create a dome light from the Arnold menu and I will choose an HDR sky image to light the scene up. After that, I will rotate it carefully to adjust the key light angle to be on the right side of my model. And then I will create a camera and put it in the angle I want it to be, and I will lock it in place. After that, I will start preparing my XGEN description to be rendered correctly in Arnold. Under the Preview tab, I will choose Arnold Renderer and click on Auto Set to calculate the correct values. And I will increase the density to 150. Now I will create the first clump modifier. Click on Setup Map, choose Guides and click on Save to generate a new map. And then before adjusting the modifier, I want to see the hair in the viewport, so I'll just zoom in, turn on the updating preview, and then I'll adjust the clump scales curve. As you can see, I want to randomize the values here. I don't want it to be really clumpy, so I will adjust and make the variations for the clump modifier in order to get a natural look for the hairstyle. As you can see, adjusting the curves giving you the flexibility to break down the clump effect you're having on the hair. I'll introduce a randomized expression in the clump. I like to give the randomization from between 0.8 to 1. From there, I will add the C length modifier expression. As you can see, as I want the clump modifier to have randomization values that will vary from a long hair to a short hair. I don't want all of the hair to have the same clump effect, but I want the long hair to have more clumps and the shorter hair to get like a shorter clumps. After that, I will adjust the guides on the edge of my hairstyle, as you can see here. Just give it a bit of a push, and then I will turn on the copy effect. I will adjust the scale curve as well on the copy effect, where I don't want it to affect the roots. I will just, I want it to affect only the tips of the hair, where I want the tips of the hair to stick to the guides. That's the main reason I will turn on the copy effect. After that, I will add a new clump modifier, also set up the map and generate a density, maybe 3 or 5, then generate a click on save. After that, again, the same thing. I will go to clump scale and just adjust the values to break down the clump modifier I have. Also set the randomization expression inside the clump. to break down the clumps and give me a natural look. I don't want to see I don't want all the hair to look the same. After that, I will introduce a noise modifier. This will break down the clumps where we will not see a very obvious clump on the hair. This is very important to get a natural looking hair, more realistic, let's say. So I'll adjust the scale, I will adjust the magnitude and the frequency of the noise modifier. As you can see, just introducing a randomization expression. Also here will break down the effect and make it more natural. Of course, I want the tips to be clumped. I don't want them to be so noisy. So as you can see on the curve, how I adjusted that. And then I will just add a cut modifier to give me a natural ending clumps. Now I will assign a new hair shader for my hair. Just a normal AI standard hair shader, and then I will move on to my camera and just make an initial render through Arnold view. As you can see, just to check the hair in the render view, how it's looking like I want to see the effect with the initial light setup I have. Now I want to rotate the light dome just to give a slightly angle from the key light I have from the HDR map, and I will create a new area light from the back side of the hair just to give me a nice highlights coming up from the back side of the hair. I really like the highlights that comes up from the back of the hair. The highlights from the silhouettes of the hair gives a really nice looking effect. And adding a new area light to face the camera, this will give me a nice looking reflections and speculars to the hair. You know, like when working with the hairs, I really pay attention to the specular over the hair. I'm just adjusting the lights, rotating my camera just to get more view of the hair. I will rotate the backdrop I created just a bit so I don't see the corners, and I will make it darker, and I will increase the roughness of the specular of the backdrop. Now I'll just use the region render where I don't want everything in the scene to be rendered. This will give me a quicker result. And I will start adjusting the hair shader. As you can see from the AI standard hair shader, I'll just zero out the melanin and choose the pink color for the base color. I will increase the randomization, and this is very important, I will increase the IOR of this hair shader in specific. This will give me a nice reflections, and I will play with the values of the roughness. As you can see, I will check how the roughness looks like. If it was like a lot or a little. Do I need a glossy hair or a rough hair? Then I will introduce that diffuse. Here I want like slightly dark results, like I'll add 0.15 here, and I will choose a dark pink color just to be the base color of the hairstyle I have. I'll just increase the values of the render settings here just to give me a cleaner result, so I can see the anti-aliasing and the sampling here. Just rotating the camera to see the hairstyle, how it's looking like from different angles, maybe just a slightly angles here. And I decided here to adjust the main area light I have facing the hair. As you can see here, just adjusting the angle of it, maybe the placement. I'm checking the specular on the hair, how it's looking like. I like to control the specular and the highlights on my hair. So after I'm happy with the results, I'll go back to the hair shader and adjust the roughness where I don't want it to be this glossy. and maybe decreasing the specular tint, maybe just a little bit. I will decrease the IOR as well and turn on the roughness again. Like I want it to be very rough hairstyle. As you can see here, like adjusting these values to get the desired look. These values will really change depending on the model, on the hair color you have and the hairstyle you've done. After that, I will decrease the width of the hair from the XGEN description editor. As you can see, getting like a slightly thinner hair will make the hair look smoother. Okay, another trick here, I want to add a randomization as well to the width color, where I don't want all the hair to have the same width. I want it to be randomized, and as you can see from my expression editor, like I have the A and B sliders and I get the randomization values between both of them. So as you can see, I just add different values for the A and the B, and XGEN will just randomize the values between the hairs, so not all the hair will get the same width, which is really important to get a natural looking hair. Okay, I decided to clean up that clump modifier I have. As you can see, the results will really change after you start rendering out your hairstyle. Once you spend a lot of time working on the viewport, and when you start rendering your hair, you will see like there's a lot of stuff that is changing, because the viewport cannot like preview or cannot like visual the real looking hair. So you really need to pay attention to go back to your description and just adjust all the values and modifiers after you start adding your shader and your lights. Here, adjusting the copy effect a bit, where I wanted to slightly affect the roots as well, as you can see. Now let's dive deeper and let's get more advanced. Under the preview tab in XGEN, under the custom shader here, I assigned a new expression called base color. We will use this later to randomize the hair on our hairstyle. Let's get the darker roots for the hair. As you can see, I'll just add a new ramp and connect it to my hair shader. I'll just adjust the white and black color here to get a darker color on the root and the lighter color on the tip. As you can see in the viewport, you can see the direction of the ramp. Here, when you update the render, you can see how it's affecting only the roots. I connected this ramp texture to the melanin effect. As you can see, if you remember that we have zeroed out the melanin effect to introduce a color to our hairstyle, but now once you increase the melanin, you will get like a darker color under the color you already had it here. Okay, now let's go back to our custom shader parameters that we have created under the preview tab. I'll just click on the arrow near it and choose the PTX map. I will just choose the clump 2 maps that is already created. I will use this map to give me variations in color for my hairstyle. As you know, like XGEN will create a clump map depending on the radius we have created for the clump map. And now I will use this map to as you can see, I just changed my mind to use the clump 1 modifiers map, not the clump 2. I wanted to get like bigger variations for the color. I didn't like the small variations. I wanted to be obvious in that. Just not playing a lot with that color. As you can see, it is really affecting the whole look of it, but as you can see, like I'm getting really nice variations over the color here. Of course, checking the hair from different angles as well, just to make sure that everything is working correctly with no problems. And now I'll set the spray percentage from the description menu there, and I will assign a new noise modifier and bring it down under the cut modifier. Here I will write the fix stray expression, you need to memorize this expression. As you can see, okay, after I got the stray expression in place, I'll start playing with the results, where 5 will be for the stray hair, which I made like 2% of the hair, and the 0.5 will be for the non-stray hair, for the magnitude effect, for the magnitude attribute. Here I have adjusted the magnitude scale and hide the backdrop in order to see the hair very clearly. Now I have just adjusted the frequency to be lower because I don't want it to be so noisy. I just want the hair to fly off the hair, that's only. Playing with the values until I get the desired look that I'm looking for. Adjusting the width again, just to get a smoother shape, a smoother looking shape, let's say. Okay, thank you everybody for watching this lesson, and see you in the next lesson.